The Overlord's Teachings 24, Architect of Subjugation. Part 1, Why Should I Learn It? Ah, my favorite disciple, you've learned to conquer, you've learned to endure. But now, I shall teach you something rarer, how to be needed, not feared, not worshipped, but essential. Any brute can subdue a people, any tyrant can hold a whip, but only a true overlord learns to make their very existence the foundation of life itself. That, child of ambition, is real power. 1. Fear is fleeting. Dependency is eternal. Fear may bend knees, but it stiffens spines when backs are against the wall. Give your subjects a reason to hate, and eventually they will die with defiance in their eyes. But make them dependent, and they'll defend you with tears of gratitude. When you control their food, you are their garden. When you supply their energy, you are their sun. When you cure their diseases, you are their God. Remove yourself, and their world collapses. Do you understand the gravity of this? You will become infrastructure. 2. Rebellion requires independence, so starve it. Every uprising needs resources, leaders, ideals, and hope. These are symptoms of autonomy. Your task is to suffocate independence at the source. You do not just give them water, you are the aquifer. You do not just regulate trade, you are the market. You do not just allow art, you license imagination. Let them produce nothing you don't already own. Let them dream only in colors you've manufactured. So when rebellion is whispered, it will sound like suicide. 3. The illusion of choice. Leash the free. Now the clever will ask, but what of liberty, great one? To that I laugh. You must give them choice, but only among cages. Let them vote on their entertainment. Let them argue over taxes. Let them start businesses, so long as the banks, the patents, the regulations all trace back to you. When they choose between options you've pre-selected, they'll call it freedom. And you'll know the truth. They are choosing the color of their chains. Dependency is the ultimate conquest, my would-be heir. When they beg for your rule, there is no need for battle. You will rule not because you can, but because they cannot survive without you. Do you dare continue to Part 2? How do I learn it? Or does your ambition falter? Part 2, How do I learn it? 1. Study systems like a predator, studies prey. Begin not with swords or armies, but infrastructure. Power lies not in explosions, but in supply chains, logistics, and administration. Learn the structures that cradle civilization. Economics, agriculture, healthcare, data networks. Dive into systems theory, network science, and game theory. Look to the ant colony, the beehive. Every creature plays a role it believes essential, yet all serve the queen, who feeds nothing, yet receives everything. Mimic this distributed dependency until every node in your empire requires you to function. Study the invisible webs, not the crown, but the strings that lift it. 2. Control resources, not just territories. Do not obsess over land or borders. Obsess over water access, food patents, energy monopolies, and algorithmic control of information. Learn how resource management governs behavior more than laws ever will. Read geostrategists like Halford Mackinder. Absorb energy politics, from oil empires to rare earth minerals. In a galactic sense, this extends to oxygen synthesis, quantum fuel, or solar extraction rights. He who controls the faucet decides who bathes and who drowns. 3. Master psychological manipulation and behavioral economics. Dependence is not just physical, it is emotional and cognitive. Study behavioral economics. Learn how to design default choices, exploit status quo bias, and manipulate loss aversion. Create systems where your subjects fear losing your rule more than they desire freedom. Incorporate social learning theory. Teach them that your way is the only way. Make every school, screen, and scripture whisper, there is no life without the Overlord. Let them believe they chose you. That is the sweetest trap of all. 4. Train in bureaucratic empire building. Even fearsome warlords must file paperwork. Study imperial administration, the Roman census, the British civil service, the Chinese Mandarin system. Know how to build bureaucracies that self-replicate, ensuring even your death cannot remove your reach. You must become the silent algorithm behind every permit, every ration, every birth certificate. Invisibility is the apex of dominance. This is not learned in battlefields but in libraries, databanks, and cold diplomatic chambers. Gather knowledge like a miser gathers coin. Hoard it, digest it, and soon you will see the world not as it is, but as it must become under your rule. Ready yourself, initiate of dominion. Shall I unveil Part 3? How do I apply it to my benefit? Part 3. How do I apply it to my benefit? 1. Embed yourself in the foundation of daily survival. Don't merely command the throne. Become the oxygen they breathe. Own their supply chains. Make every loaf of bread, every unit of power, every byte of data pass through systems branded with your seal. When they eat, let your image be embossed in the crust. When they bathe, let the steam whisper your name. Dependency breeds obedience far better than fear ever could. A starving man does not rebel. A sated man fed by his master worships him. They need me more than I need them. Burn that into the neural firmware of your empire. 2. Manufacture crises and miraculously solve them. Control both the fire and the extinguisher. Create threats, real or artificial, that only your administration can solve. Plagues that require your cure. Revolts that validate your military's protective presence. Economic collapses mysteriously resolved by your glorious intervention. This creates a cycle of false salvation, where the sheep fear wolves you planted and thank you for the fence you built. You are both the disease and the antidote, a god by design. 3. Design addictive governance. Govern not through commandments, but through dopamine loops. Use gamification, predictive algorithms, and personalized AI to make your governance feel rewarding. Design a bureaucratic system that functions like a slot machine. Occasional wins to keep them hooked, always just within reach of more. Grant meaningless freedoms, custom wallpapers, vanity titles, the illusion of voting, all while you orchestrate every outcome. Let the masses believe they're playing the game. They'll never notice they're the pieces. 4. Decentralize just enough to entrap. Empower regional governors. Give them minor power, titles, and hollow responsibility. Let them bask in the illusion of autonomy while you hold the true strings, the data, the credits, the supply. Then, when one disobeys, collapse their region overnight. A famine here, a plague there, a media scandal. The rest will fall in line, not because they love you, but because they understand. Terror is loud. Dependency is silent. Both are effective. One is eternal. 5. Cultivate myth while remaining a mystery. Finally, become legend, not man. Too close, and you are vulnerable. Too distant, and you are forgotten. Walk the razor's edge. Your mere existence must be a doctrine. Your biography, an epic sung in schools. Your decrees, holy scripture. Let them weep for your mercy as they execute your orders. Let them kneel not from fear, but from belief that life without your reign is chaos incarnate. So, young inheritor of dominion, you now understand how to weave the perfect golden chain, so subtle they kiss it, so strong they can never break it.